You're not what I expected. At all. Her voice trembled slightly as she clutched the edge of the doorframe. Across from her stood a man who looked like he had just walked off a battlefield. Tall, broad, silent, dressed head to toe in Navy SEAL camo, boots still dusty from the road. He didn't flinch, didn't smirk. He just looked her straight in the eye with the calm intensity of someone used to chaos. 7 minutes earlier, Alexandra Vaughn, tech entrepreneur, wine-sipping, first-class flying, emotionally unavailable by design, had sent what she thought was a harmless, late-night text. "You up?" It was meant for her on-and-off boyfriend, but in her haste, she missed a digit. The message went somewhere else, to someone else. She poured herself another glass of wine, kicked off her heels, and laughed at her own recklessness. She was used to attention, used to people bending for her. She didn't expect a reply, but what she got was a single text back. "I don't play games, I don't entertain bait, but I protect what's mine. Address?" At first she smirked. Bold, she thought. She replied with a joke, and her location, just to keep the banter going. She had no idea who she was texting, no idea what was coming. Exactly 7 minutes later, headlights swept across her driveway. A matte black military SUV rolled to a stop. Her laughter faded. She stood frozen as boots hit the pavement. And then, he knocked. Now here he was, in full uniform, on her doorstep, and every part of her well-curated confidence was cracking. "You're the one who texted me," he said quietly. His voice was deep, grounded, unapologetic. "I assumed it was serious. I, I thought you were someone else," she stammered. "I figured that," he said, still not blinking. "But if you're texting random men at 1 a.m., you might want to know who's on the other end." She folded her arms, trying to recover her poise. "And you always show up when someone flirts with you by accident?" He shrugged. "When you send a message like that to a Navy SEAL, especially one who just came home from deployment and is trying to raise his daughter alone, yeah, I show up. I don't ignore red flags." She stared at him. "I thought you were, I don't know, just some guy," she said, the wine buzz giving way to something more sobering. He tilted his head. "I'm not some guy. I've carried wounded brothers out of gunfire. I've buried friends who never came back. And now, I'm raising a 6-year-old who thinks her mom left because she wasn't worth staying for. So yeah, when I get a message at 1 a.m. from someone I don't know, I take it seriously." The silence between them grew heavy, but it wasn't anger. It was truth. And in that moment, something shifted in Alexandra. For years, she'd been building her world on control. Startups, boardrooms, expensive distractions. But this man standing in front of her, he was unshakable, real, unfiltered, and completely uninterested in playing her games. "I wasn't trying to mess with you," she said softly now. "I've just forgotten how to talk to people who don't expect anything from me." He looked at her for a long second, then finally a slight nod. "Then maybe it's time to start." Before she could respond, he stepped back. "Take care of yourself, ma'am." She watched as he turned, walked back to his vehicle, and drove off into the quiet night. No drama, no anger, just a man with purpose and boundaries. She closed the door slowly, the silence inside suddenly deafening. The next morning, Alexandra sat at her kitchen counter, rereading the message chain. She didn't delete it. That night changed her, not because he showed up, but because he meant it. He wasn't another man chasing attention. He was a protector, and it made her realize how few people in her world truly stood for anything. Be careful who you reach out to. Some people carry more than charm. They carry responsibility, pain, honor, and depth. And sometimes one wrong number reveals exactly the right person. If this story made you feel something, joy, tears, strength, drop a comment and tell us what it meant to you. And, hey, where in the world are you watching from? Hit like, share it with your circle, and subscribe for more stories that move souls.